You're such an asshole!
Good morning, children. I had to break out the old researching skills. I couldn't just spout from my vast experience and wisdom from being a spectacular failure. I mean, a highly successful individual. But this is an interesting one. Hi, Cappy. I'm a 19-year-old physics major studying at... I'll keep you anonymous, just for the sake of keeping you anonymous, at a college in London. I'm looking to become an actuary. I've passed 3 actuarial exams while studying for my degree. I was wondering whether you could help me figure out why salaries for actuaries and salaries in general in the U.S. are so much higher than in England. For example, a college graduate with an entry-level actuarial job would expect to make 25 to 30,000 British pounds in the UK, contrasted with 70,000 starting salary in the States. And for those of you, the exchange rate is roughly $1.3 per British pound. So even if you adjusted for the pounds, that's still only like at max 40K US versus 70K US. So it's a big difference. This difference seems too large to be able to be explained by the difference in the currency and the fact that Americans have to pay for health insurance. If this disparity cannot be explained by cost of living factors, what would you say it would be worth moving to the States after I graduate next year to work as an actuary? Given that I would have to pay for rent, expenses would be moving away from friends and family. If I were to stay in the UK, I could save up money for a few years, move back in with my parents. Kind regards, and we'll keep you anonymous. So, all right, so I did some research and poking around, even called an actuarial recruiting company, and they never returned my call, and after a while it's like, okay, fine. But there are several things that explain it a little bit. One is that you guys are socialists, and everything's free. And part of the compensation package in the if we look at total compensation, part of that does include health insurance, which is very, very expensive here. Even accounting for it or measuring it as a percentage of GDP, it's very expensive compared to the United Kingdom. But since you guys have free everything over there, that's one cost. Another thing, based on discussion boards and the handful of numbers I could find, is the lion's share of the jobs in the United Kingdom is in London. So your cost of living are expensive there. But in the United States, the actuarial jobs usually, though not always, center around centers of finance. So obviously New York, but also Chicago. Connecticut, I believe, has a lot of insurance firms. I think Ohio does too. So like, was it Cincinnati? Don't quote me on it. One of them, but Ohio obviously is not as expensive. San Francisco, LA, and those are even more expensive when you want to do a cost of living adjustment between London and the like there. Another thing is that you Brits, because yay socialism, you don't work as much as us. You don't work as much as us. America. And it's by law in parts, not due to laziness or anything like that, but you basically work a full day less. The actuarial industry over in the United Kingdom allows your employees to have a lot more time to study for exams and certifications, whereas the United States that is not the case. Also, the United States, I think it's an unspoken expectation that you work more than 40 hours a week. And then, oh my God, we make more. Oh, I wonder how that works. Socialism, so there is that as well, that you're just not working as many hours as a U.S. actuary would. But, and then there's countering things like that. Well, okay, what's your commute time? What's this? Well, if you don't live near the major metro area, and all these conversations were had, people were pointing out and providing their individual experiences, where now it becomes impossible to analyze it, because in the United Kingdom, it's okay, London, and the United States, it's all over the frickin' place. So then I got creative, and I'm like, well, how many actuaries are there? Let's look at basic supply and demand. So I went online, and again, these are not the greatest statistics because it's the best I could come up with, but based on several measures, the United Kingdom has anywhere between 2 to 3.5 times the amount of actuaries adjusted for their population. I think it's 0.02 0.02%, not 2%, not 0.2%, 0.02% of the United Kingdom population is actuaries. In the United States, it's 0.01 or 0.006%. And assuming that it's the same amount of finance industry and demand for actuaries, it could, I think, it's all of these combined. But I think that's probably the number one thing is you're flooded with, well, quote unquote, flooded. You could certainly work worse jobs in the United Kingdom. But you just got way more actuarial graduates and way more actuaries in the industry. And I think that's probably, after you adjust for cost of living and inflation adjustment and the crappy weather, it's you still have this significant as your observations. You're in other words, your original suspicions are correct. Yeah, there's a pretty big gap. Then when you adjust for taxes and the crappy weather and the commutes and cost of living, there's still the United States actuaries, American actuaries, make significantly more than the Brits. And I think it's just simple economics that there's just not that many. Our population is too busy majoring in English and poetry and transgender lesbian Guatemalan studies. And we are just so important. We don't have time to major in actuarial science like you boring, lazy people. And that actually could be another... I'm really curious, although I don't think there'd be any difference. Like, do the Brits have a higher percentage of people majoring in worthwhile crap? That might be another... I doubt it, but I'm just slamming on American lazy kids majoring in stupid shit. Point is, though, I think that's probably the most explaining variable there is that as a percent of the population, we only have a fraction, half or less, the number of actuaries that you guys do. And so naturally, demand would be here. Now, so in a general policy of asshole consulting, well, yeah, come to the United States because the money is going to be there more. But in your particular case, where it was, would you say it'd be worth moving to the States after I graduate next year to work as an actuary, given that I would have to pay rent expensive and would be moving away from my family and friends? If I were to stay in the United Kingdom, I could save up money for a few years and move back in with my parents. Kind regards, will keep you anonymous. Dude, here I'm gonna tell you why you should come to the United States. And there's many reasons, but they're not all exactly related to career and finance. All right. First, you're a young man, and you should just go travel anyway. And if you can land yourself a job in a foreign country and you're paid for, and you can, while you're young, get that experience. Now, this isn't to say that if you didn't get a good job offer in the United Kingdom, not to take it if it works well with your life. But in general, for your situation, dude, if you can come work in the United States for a good wage, for research it, look at cost of living, come to the United States. Check it out. The United Kingdom will always be there. Your folks, presumably, will always be there. You could always go back and live at home. But, it's not going to cost you anything except for a little bit of time to shoot some resumes off to the United States. Why not throw some resumes off to Australia? Any of the Commonwealth countries that didn't fight a revolutionary war and free themselves from the crown. If you want to go work at second-rate, country, if you want to come to the first, you want to come to the best, you come to the United States. The point is, just throw a resume out there. See what you get. I think you have to take slightly different tests and all that. But yeah, if you could go to the United States or another country where the sun comes out occasionally, yes, just for the life experience, you'll still, math is math, statistics, you'll still get it. So that alone is a reason I'd recommend you throw your resume into the ring and see if you can't come work in the United States. Another one, obviously, is, we pay more. All right, I think it's because of a labor shortage. I'm sure there are other reasons. I really wish this company would have called me back because I'm sure a recruiter, maybe if you could get your hands on actuarial recruiters, find out why. They might know more specifically why than what I could have pulled up in research, but no one called me back. I didn't want you waiting forever. But you'll make some more money here. That's good. Another thing I looked at, not only do you make more money, you get to keep more of your money here, although that depends on the tax treaties, I guess, in the United States, the United Kingdom. But I was looking at your tax rates. Holy shit, do they fuck you guys in the ass. Yay, socialism. I think if you get to £40,000, you're in the 40% market, labor rate, or not labor rate, tax rate. And then at something else, you go to a 50% tax rate. Oh, but then it was lowered to 45%. Oh, good. $45 or pounds out of every 100 I make goes to pay for what do they call them? Chavs? Is that your welfare class? You call them? Good. You're supporting. Come to the United States. We only take 38%. I mean, it still sucks, but it's not that bad. And we have and the income levels that kicks in is much higher. Our higher income bracket, I think you got to make 150,000 US before you're even looking at a 30-odd% tax rate. Overall, I mean, the 38% is state, federal, local, sales, and all that. That's your overall tax rate. But we don't outright loathe and detest our most productive citizens, like your buddy Jeremy Coburn, or whatever that parasitic, never worked a day in his life fuck who tried to run for a dictator supreme over there. You're not going to be as much of a slave here as you are in the United Kingdom. I was like, what? How much? Like, why the fuck does anyone work in the United Kingdom? Why do you guys try hard? Holy shit. I'd be like, nah. What? After sales tax and VAT tax and all this other tax, I get to keep 20% of my money? Fuck you. Where do I sign up to become a chaff? Is there an instruction manual? How do I do it? Okay, I'll do that now. Give me the fucking money. Yeah, man, just have that alone. I know maybe that's a bit too philosophical. I mean, yeah, you're going to make more money, but you get to keep more of your money. And you're only supporting 65% of the parasites that live off of the taxpayers. So that's another thing. A third major reason is I've never been to the United Kingdom, but I'd imagine it's going to get a little boring. You've been there. You've seen it. Come to the United States. Before you come to the United States, though, read this book, Reconnaissance Man. It's not going to be perfectly blending well with your desire to be an actuary, but, dude, fuck London weather. Holy shit. I went to Seattle one time, and it all did was rain. I'm like, is this what, that's kind of what Ireland or London's like. We got way more cool shit going on here in the United States. Okay, way more cool shit. You want to check out the desert? See if you can't find yourself a job over in Phoenix. We got real mountains, the ones with snow on top of it year-round. Yeah, you could do the East Coast stuff, but you don't have to. And based on the research I found and the fact that things are going online now and actuarial science is data, you don't need to be there, you boomer fuck. Not you, the boomer fucks who go, how do I know you're working if I can't see you? Which are kind of on the way out now in the United States. If you come to the United States and you find a job as an actuary in Chicago's a great town to check out. Denver, it's in that book, but Vegas should probably, I gotta imagine, your skills would play well with the casinos. I mean, if you could do statistics and you want to go live in Vegas and have like if you took London and multiply it by a -1, you get Las Vegas. It's fun, it's sunny, the girls are hot, they're pro-capitalist, traffic's not that bad, there's mountains, shit to do. That's something to consider. Maybe you go work for the casinos, you'd be a numbers guy on the profitability of all that. But wherever you can get an actuary job, you have an actuarial job in Hartford, Connecticut. I think that's Connecticut. Whatever. You got some insurance company over there in Connecticut or a hedge fund or whatever. But they're like, cool. They're like, yeah, go live in Florida. We don't care. Do the number crunching. Get us those numbers. We don't care if you're 10 feet down the next cube from us or you're 1,000 miles away having a grand old time hiking Sandia Peak in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I think coming to the United States not only makes you more money, you get to keep more money, and you get to see the sun occasionally, and it will help your career. I think you're just going to have a better time. And then, if I may admit a little bit of a selfish reason, me and my fellow producing Americans would like that. We'll take actuaries. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry, not London. Is the United Kingdom not going to pay you, and they're going to make you a slave 50% of your time? Come to the United States. We'd like to have a productive person like you. We'll take the actuaries and the doctors and the surgeons and the pilots and the whoever else. We'll take productive people like you. And if the United Kingdom ain't going to fucking pay you what you're worth, now, of course, it's probably because of the flooded market, but if you can make more here and you want to come here and make like 120 grand a year after 3-5 years in the business, maybe more like 10, we want the 6-figure income earning people here in the United States. You leave the parasites in the United Kingdom, you come here, we'll be happy to have you. Go create some new gambling game that goes, it's all international trade. See, now you become this expert statistician and you go work for the casinos in Vegas. You come up with Pai Gow Poker Supreme, some super more addicted advanced game of Pai Gow Poker. And you get all the people from China, the tourists to come in because they play Pai Gow all the time. You can see them. And they get super addicted, and that's just more fucking money in the United States bank account. More for us. But yeah, I mean, I'm on a more serious level. You're the exact type of person we'd like to have in the United States. We like actuaries. We like productive people. So I think for your individual case, that's why I'd say for the majority of actuaries over the United Kingdom, fuck the United Kingdom. Come to the United States, which you should have long ago. Photo Revolutionary had an open, hey, come to the United States. You work, come here. Don't work over there. You're slaving. You slave over there. You work here for yourself. For the time being until Ocasio-Cortez becomes president. So yeah, man, I'd say for you, don't just limit yourself to the United States. I mean, rah-rah United States. But I would, in general, think it's a good policy to go and travel a little bit. Maybe nothing wrong, like if you get a great job offer in the United Kingdom, you can go back, live with your parents, work up some money. That's cool, but I think before you get married, before you start settling down, before you're too old, if you can land a job in the United States, go and do it. It doesn't have to be downtown New York where it's super expensive. You should be able to find a job where you can live. I'm trying to think of what's a medium-sized town that likely, maybe Atlanta's not too medium-sized. I'm just thinking, you go to a town like Raleigh, North Carolina, that's medium-sized. There's got to be a place, because it's not so centered, it's not so centralized. It's spread out. So you should be able to find a job where the cost of living is acceptable. And then you're here in the United States. You go around, you travel, you explore. Read this book. It'll definitely be worth the money and saving in gas, or you guys call it petrol. And just remember to convert to miles and get off that damn... No, wait, you guys are with us. We're the ones that put a man on the moon with the imperial system, the superior mathematical system. That's right, it's the Canadians. The Canadians, that was their big finger to dad. That was... Anyway, yeah, I would try the United States, definitely. There's every reason for you to. Financial... life experiences, fun, happiness. We'll show you the sun. We got it. It's here. Is it outside? Oh, no. There's a little bit of clouds there. It's trying to get through. But it was here yesterday. It was out here, and we'll show it to you. You might even see it on your way here. You might be like, oh my God, what is that? Jesus, it's too bright, but warm and loving. All right, questions, answers. Links to Asshole Consulting below. While you're doing that, and you guys are all actuaries, why don't you take a look at this book here too? Bachelor Pad Economics. It's for women too, because laws of finance and economics don't change. And if we're talking actuarial science, get the book Worthless, although I guess you actuaries don't need that because you're majoring in a worthwhile degree. Oh, and here's one for you guys. This one is definitely for you guys. Curse of the High IQ. If you're an actuary, you probably have a high IQ. And that's not always a good thing, as you'll find out in that book. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.